ONE FC has been hyping a new superstar, and today he faces off against Nguyen from Vietnam. This guy has some fights already within ONE FC and sporting a pretty solid record. Looking forward to seeing him go up against Jojo here. Ghazali, solid record for such a young fighter. I think when I heard about him, he was only 17 years old and he was demolishing his opponents in ONE FC. He's probably 18 now, I would guess, representing Malaysia and US. I kind of caught this fight, wasn't really watching, kind of out of the corner of my eye as I was doing other things a few days ago. And the result at the end kind of surprised me. So I wanted to go back and watch it and see if the decision was correct. But I remember this as being a super entertaining fight. The age difference was substantial, which, could go either way. Sometimes people go the young fighter disadvantaged, doesn't have an experience, and sometimes people go the older fighter, slowing down, taking some beatings, gonna have that disadvantage. So let's jump into this fight and see how Ghazali does in this step up in level. Round number 1 underway. Fighting in the tiny gloves. Nguyen's got a nice high guard, protecting the upper portion of the head. Something I remember about Ghazali, also known as Jojo, is he had some solid low kicks. I remember him blasting in that right round kick. Very fearless fighter, just trucking forward. There's one of those low kicks. That is a fast-paced fight, right 30 seconds in. Already guys getting after it. Nguyen's going to have to do something to slow up that aggression that Jojo brings. For such a young fighter, it's crazy how he almost overpowers his opponents. It's like he hits harder than them. He can manhandle them. So Nguyen will have to put some strategy in, I think, to actually show that he's the winner in this fight. He's definitely the one backing up right now. Ooh, that kick almost went over both guards. The thing about these small gloves is it only takes a tap or two to get the guy to give you some respect, but Ghazali got tagged there and he just goes, no. Tap me in the top of the head. He taps himself, says, I'm coming. That was a nice high round kick there. Good elevation through the standing leg. I do like this high guard strategy of Nguyen, like survive the first round, keep everything on point. Didn't really get to capitalize on that great catch there. It was a outside catch and he swung the leg through. Could have gone for a nice sweep or a body shot off the left, but didn't get anything started. Catches the kick again. Guys, make sure you keep track of the scoring because I'm going to be interested at the end to see if you agree with what the judges drop. There's definite pressure from Ghazali right now, but is he actually landing enough to win this first round? Oh, I like that frame on the elbow. Both these guys, there's a Mouthguard out. Just bombing shots. They're dropping their head so low in height to keep themselves as safe as possible, but nobody's capitalizing on that knee up the center yet. Coming to the end of round number 1. Can anybody put a stamp on it to get that finish? Jojo putting that pressure. Didn't really land anything substantial there, but good finish to the round. I also remember him having a really nice left body hook. So keep your eye out for that as the fight goes on. Close first round. It's hard for me to score, commentate, but I feel like at that point it was close enough that if somebody said it went to Jojo, I'd go, oh, okay. If they said it went to his opponent, sure, okay. I'll tell you one thing about fighting in those smaller gloves versus the boxing gloves, and it's all about water. I just saw Jojo holding the water bottle. So much easier to get yourself water. When you have the boxing glove, your corner has to do it for you. Sometimes they give you too much. You feel like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to breathe, slow my heart rate down, and then I get this big mouthful of water. I'm choking. That's one nice element of MMA gloves. Nguyen definitely respects that pressure from Jojo, backing up quite a bit through the first stages of round number 2, but ultimately doing more so far in the fight, landing more. Jojo's gone for a little bit of a higher guard. He's going open palm to the forehead. I think I saw his corner motion for that in between rounds. Maybe protect a little bit more. Don't be too lax with having those hands up protecting yourself, because Nguyen is doing a good job of throwing back even as he's backing up. Just for a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, whatever Ghazali is, he's just so strong in there. It's surprising. You can tell with, how aggressive he gets, and occasionally just sort of throwing caution to the wind that he's not as experienced perhaps as he should be, getting into that kind of thing. That's a younger fighter mentality. You get tagged and you yell, you get kicked in the leg, you tap it. You're better off just chilling out, take the shot, land your own. Don't acknowledge. Don't get emotional about it. Nguyen definitely doing the better in this round. Remember, it's all based off damage, shots landed, and then the pressure. Jojo's winning the pressure, but he's not winning the criteria that's more important. He's trying to call Nguyen in to engage, but I think this older fighter will be too smart for that, especially when you're winning the round. Jojo's got to be a little more tactical with his offense at this point. He is doing a good job with that pressure, but maybe hit, take a little step back, fake, go on the attack, and stop acknowledging when you get hit. It's just wasted time and basically showing the judge, like, oh yeah, I did get tagged. He'll do well when he manages to get Nguyen against the cage, though. I think that's a good spot for him to be, where he can't back up anymore. But he's having a hard time cornering him or keeping him there. Yeah, round number 2, in my mind, definitely for Nguyen is, not that, he's putting the forwards pressure on, but he's landing more as he's backing up. And Jojo wants him to stand in and throw down, but why would you do that? There are a lot of shots being thrown in this fight, a lot of big power shots, but not a lot landing. A lot of misses. That's partially because both guys are dropping their heads as they throw, so counter shots are harder, but also because I think perhaps their aim is not as great as it should be. You see some of these guys like Conor McGregor who can find the jaw really at any angle, anywhere. It's just like he's got a magnet, and that is a skill set, being able to find exactly where you want to throw, as opposed to throwing and having like 8 out of 10 shots miss. I will say one thing for Ghazali, he is ready to go. He's exciting. He's got that young blood where he's fired up, wants to throw down. He'll probably calm a little bit as he gets a little older. But getting somebody young in there who brings that fire to the cage, good call by 1FC. Plus his skill set is very good. That was a lovely move from Nguyen there. Evade, capitalize on the low kick, work to off balance him once again. He's just a little bit off in his stance, and those low kicks are off balancing him far too much. And maybe they just gave Ghazali a bit more than he could, like a bit more than he could bite and chew off. I mean, he's trying, but a little too early maybe for his experience. They should have given him a couple more guys just to build into over the next year or two. It's got to be exciting for the promotion when you have somebody young that everybody's excited about. You're like, let's get this guy to being a champion. Look at the excitement he brings into the ring, but sometimes it just happens too fast. Fortunately, he's not getting shut down in this fight. He's not getting damaged. He's just losing by points, just by a little bit. Yeah, I think the accuracy will be a big element for him to work on, because he's throwing these big bombs, but they're not landing as clean as they should. I don't agree with refs when they say, okay, you got to stand here. Nguyen is not by any means running. He's backing up. He's winning the fight. He's being effective. To tell him you have to engage more, you have to stand and fight. I don't know. That inside low from Nguyen looked, I was just going to say, very close to the groin. But that was another one there. That one definitely landed. You guys got to remember to get yourself a good cup nowadays, not one of the metal ones which still hurt. Diamond cup. I got a link down below where you can save 10%. This is the one that you want to be wearing. Impact feels so much less than a plastic cup or one of those metal tie cups. You get hit, you shake it off, you can continue. So much safer. You don't have to worry about them cracking. Diamond cup. Get one of those. Yeah, it's just a little bit smarter tactics. A little bit more calm, a little bit more focused on the accuracy. I think all of that from Ghazali would probably equal a win in this fight. His counters off the kicks are not great as well when he can sort that out. You know, you take the low kick, you fire back right away. That'll be a good response for him to work on. So now that I've watched this fight in its entirety with focus, I understand the decision. Nguyen walks away with this. He obviously won. Again, not based off the pressure he's bringing, but based off the damage and the shots landed. And there's definitely an opportunity for these guys to rematch in the future. Jojo, I think he just knows there, like, oh, that was a frustrating fight. Didn't do great. He's still climbing up, though. Yeah, doing, I don't know if it's a little celebration or just a little shout out to the fans, but you gotta recognize when it's not your night and just move on to the next one. And the nice thing about being a young fighter like him, for all the young fighters out there, so many people are focused on maintaining this perfect record, no losses. Guess what? It just does not happen in the Muay Thai kickboxing world. You fight too frequently, you can't avoid opponents. It's just the nature of the game. You lose, you bounce back, you get a win the next time. I'm sure they'll set Jojo up with a good opponent for the next one, and he'll be ready, raring to go. Yeah, it's always hard. It's never fun taking a loss. I've been on the end of, fortunately not many, but been on the end of some of them, and it's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you train super hard. But well done from both guys. Pretty darn good fight. And as Jojo just matures, he's just going to become a scary dude. And think of the length of his career that he can have within one FC. Like somebody like myself, I started off, and sure, I had lots of fights from 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think I got my first break in a big promotion, maybe around 26 or 27, somewhere in there. This guy's already fighting for the big promotion at such a young age. So after a decade, think of the experience he'll gain. He'll only be like 27 years old. That's pretty amazing. Just catching some end of fight highlights here. fortunate for both guys, nobody really landed any big clean shots, so they can both walk out pretty much uninjured, I would think, aside from some body bruising. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you guys back here soon for another video.